Oil and gas prices sky high, nations consumed by energy wars and nuclear meltdowns. There may be an alternative.
Fusion is basically the process that powers the entire universe. It gives light and heat to the sun and to all the stars.
Reproducing this process for commercial use on Earth has been a holy grail of science since the 60s.
During the Cold War, Gorbachev and Reagan decided, okay, we will cooperate on a big, expensive approach to fusion. Now, they chose a really big 20-story tall thing that takes decades to build. That's probably not the best way to do it.
Skeptics say trying to come up with ways to produce fusion energy is as tough and as costly as finding a cure for AIDS.
Electrodes wear the device.
These scientists, however, say they're well on their way, with a machine set up in a New Jersey garage.
We have proven that we have confined, for a certain amount of time, the highest temperature that has been obtained ever with a fusion fuel, which is energy is equivalent to about 1.8 billion degrees. That's actually 200 times hotter than the temperature at the center of our sun.
This was done in a device costing less than $1 million, called the Dense Plasma Focus. The scientists used this demonstration device to explain what their process is all about. It's a sphere where plasma currents concentrate into strings of electricity. The fusion generator used in this lab is also said to channel instability to focus the energy, instead of trying to make it stable, which is traditionally seen as the much more mainstream approach.
And they flow.
The last step to success is the hardest one.
We have 2 of the 3 requirements to make a fusion reactor and turn that into a generator. We have the confinement time and we have the temperature. Now we just need the density. And so that's what we're working on.
The group says their device is safer than others.
What we're talking about here is a specific type of fusion called aneutronic fusion, which means that the fuel used doesn't emit any neutrons. And that's good because that means we don't have any radioactive waste.
The physicists' discovery, they say, will change the world forever.
Energy poverty, wars over resources. If we switch from a resource-based energy to a knowledge-based energy like fusion, we can begin a whole new era of civilization for humankind. Our machine fits in a garage-sized space, and an actual generator could just sit in a neighborhood's garage or near the high-voltage transmission system and be powering 1,000 homes.
Some would call this utopia. The Jersey scientists say the key problem is money. Fusion research used to be funded by the government through NASA until a decade ago, when investments were terminated. The scientists say it's because their technology could put oil and gas companies out of business.
Certainly, there's a lot of suspicion in the fusion community that the government simply isn't funding this because there's too much interest in keeping the price of oil and gas high.
When and how are we going to make it happen? It is the question of politics and investment. And right now, nobody's investing in this because wars are more profitable, as is oil.
While skepticism over man-made fusion is widespread, this group insists it's cracking the political nut, not the scientific one, that is the main challenge. Anastasia Churkina, RT, Middlesex, New Jersey.